Hey guys, Rob Reviews here, and I'm bringing you another review for, of course, another episode of Game of Thrones. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, this is, of course, Season 1, Episode 9, Baelor. Anyway, this this one originally aired on June the 12th, 2011 and was directed by Alan Taylor. So, let's go through the stuff. So, of course, in the Riverlands, let's start with the Riverlands as a location. We see Robb's army reaching the Twins. Obviously, it crosses the Trident River. Theon Greyjoy shoots down the messenger Raven, so there's no way that they can the message can be relayed. Obviously, House Frey, Bannerman, Catelyn Stark's father, Lord Walder Frey, has not yet taken up arms. When he called, he says he has been preparing to march and was just waiting for his forces to arrive. So we see all that stuff. See Lannister armies prepare for battle. Tywin tells his son Tyrion that he means to use the hill to drive forces to give him an edge against the Stark army, essentially to be used as cannon fodder. He orders Tyrion to lead them in the front of the vanguard. Tyrion angrily excuses his father for trying to kill him. He storms back and turns to obviously Bronn founds him, and then obviously he meets a whore called Shae. Tyrion and Bronn and Shae play a drinking game that night. A battle. Tyrion makes ovations of of her and stuff like that. And then we have some sort of tension between them, which is pretty cool. Obviously they start something anyway. And we obviously see that later on that they have sex. Then, obviously, 2 weeks later, his father Tywin found out that also furious his son married a commoner. Okay. Tyrion forced Jaime to reveal the truth. The girl was a prostitute. Jaime set the situation up to something nice for his little brother Tywin, then instructs his guards to have sex with her being paid as a silver coin for each man, while Tyrion is forced to watch. Shae points out that Tyrion was foolish to believe a woman would sleep on him, whatever. And then we have the next morning, the Lannisters' armies find that the Starks have stolen a march on them. That was the stuff, like he was telling a story about that, by the way. Tyrion gives a rousing speech to his tribesmen, and then we obviously see them going, but Tyrion's actually knocked out while they're marching, and then we see after the battle's been won-ish, kind of. Well, no, it's not really been won. It's been sort of won. The Hill's tribesmen have won, but Jaime's army was, I think, mostly a bit defeated, and Jaime was actually captured. Catelyn and Sir Roderick are waiting in the woodlands when they hear the sounds of battle. Suddenly, Robb returns from his victory with his guards and a prisoner, Sir Jaime himself. So that's pretty cool. Really, really funny. Nice sort of twist in the story. Pretty cool to see. And obviously Robb kind of gives a speech to tell they have won the great victory, but the war is far from over. At the wall, Castle Black, Lord Commander Jeor Mormont gives Jon Snow a Valyrian sealed store. Longclaw thanks him for saving his life. More obviously, he doesn't want to give it to his son Jorah Mormont. Obviously, talks about Alistair Thorne and stuff like that, whatever. And then we have Mormont explaining that the Longclaw was meant, that sort of thing. Samwell Tarly seems distant from thing. Obviously, Sam takes Jon aside and informs him about Robb leading an army south of the wall. Jon ponders if he should be with him, but Maester Aemon tells him their duty as the Night Watch comes first. We have some stuff there with Aemon talking to Jon and actually revealing his true identity as a Targaryen, and that they're not actually anything when it comes down to it. They won't do anything. Anyway, we have some stuff with Daenerys. I'm going on too long. Stuff with Daenerys, stuff with Drogo, obviously collapsing, Drogo getting worse and worse, his condition being really bad. And then we see obviously the stuff with Daenerys going into labour, Jorah Mormont carrying her to obviously carrying her to the tent to obviously give birth. And then in King's Landing, we see Varys visiting Ned Stark in the dungeon under the Red Keep. This is where the good stuff comes. Talking about how he should, give up his honor. He has to give up his honor, to save his life. Arya's in the living rough in the streets. She catches a pigeon and tries to trade it for a slice of bread, but obviously she can't. She sees a crowd moving through the streets and is told that the hand of the king is being brought before this great scepter Baelor, the centre of religious worship of the city, obviously. And then we see sort of Ned's trial. We see that Ned kind of forgives Joffrey, but then Joffrey kind of turns around and says, you know, Sir Aelin, bring me his head. So he kind of changes his mind. I've kind of gone off that quite. I've kind of gone through that quite fast. But yeah, basically, although Ned pleads for mercy, Joffrey decides to kill him anyway. And then Sir Aelin, of course, then gets Ned Stark on his knees and proceeds to actually kill him. So our main sort of character that we've seen since episode 1, is actually killed off. And you know, this is one of the things Game of Thrones, it kind of establishes itself. It was very first. And then, of course, right at the end, we see the pigeons fly off and Arya, obviously knowing that her father is dead. And Sansa, like, there as well. She faints. But, yeah. Really shocking ending, and I don't think a lot of people who read the books, because I never read the books, I didn't really expect this. I wasn't really aware that this was meant to happen. The Game of Thrones is a different show to most shows. It's not one that will you know, keep characters, big characters like Ned Stark alive. You know, Ned Stark was a really, really cool character and a really interesting one, but they killed him pretty much straight away. And I think it was good. It was really good. I think it was very successful, and I really did enjoy it. And shocking, really shocking. But overall, a really good episode. Really, really good. Plenty of good stuff. It goes to different locations. We've got loads of good stuff. I'm going to say it's a solid 9.5. Not a perfect 10. It has to do with something a tiny bit more to be a 10. But I think it definitely earned a 9.5 just for the death of Ned Stark and that shocking ending and the whole trial thing. 9.5, I think that's fair enough. Not quite 10. I'm not actually giving a show a 10 yet, which is quite surprising. But yeah, definitely earns a 9.5 by far. Really, really good, you know, shocking scene and episode. But overall, that's my thoughts. Tell me your thoughts on this Game of Thrones episode. Please comment, subscribe. Tell me all your good stuff, what you think was good, what you think was bad. And I'll see you next video. Thanks for watching as always. Goodbye.